Hello there, Internet! I am your host, J-Man. Welcome back to some Let's Play! The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogies Revenge. We left off, I forgot. I think we got a lot of the stuff back and we're trying, and I'm trying to bring all the holiday icons back to their regular days. Yeah, this game kind of reminds me of apparently I found out some drama about, Alright, Chapter 19, The Hinderlands, Part 1. Alright, drawn about the movie Lightyear. So, I've never seen Lightyear. I read some stuff about TV shows, like apparently Zurg isn't Buzz's dad, but rather Buzz for the future. Oh yes, that public domain sound effect. Seriously, the Soul Robber should have been... Oh no, is it a lost maze? So, I found something very concerning. That might get the channel in danger. So, apparently recently Animax, who are the publishers and therefore right owners of 100 Long Last Defense Academy, have been going around copyright claiming YouTubers who are who've had the game on their channel. The most prominent are Life Will Change and Just One Gamer. They are basically, apparently, they went after them even when the videos are private. Oh, I like this music.
We all heard your song with Sally. It warmed even the vampire brothers' shriveled hearts.
Don't forget, save it now. Oh, this doing it again. Now, as for what happened with me, now this is was me in a bit of a danger. So, as I said, they're going after them, even when the videos are set to private. Both these channels are at 2 strikes. Um, However, I kind of noticed something a little. So as I said, both of these channels were life will change, and our life will change, and just one gamer, and some guy named Faz is also impacted. Those channels almost always do no commentary. And I'm really hoping that this doesn't lead Just One Gamer to turn into another Friday Night Funky farm. Like Community Game, because as we all know, Community Game used to be a simple channel. He was a channel that uploaded trailers for Smash and cutscenes from other fighting games. Now he has fallen to the dark side of Friday Night Funkin'. It's not too late. You don't have to make Friday Night Funkin' content anymore. So that's when I realized something was off. As I mentioned, both these channels were almost always did videos with no commentary. I even checked Reddit, and I noticed somebody made a post about, a post
Oh, well.
Yeah, I wonder why that was an FFV. As I gotta keep talking. So as said,
Total robber.
that's when I realized that apparently somebody pointed out that found it on Exceed Games website that you have to put commentary on there. And as I said, this is, as I said, Aniplex was just a publisher in Japan. In the West, it was published by Exceed Games. I love how pretty this world is. Can someone try and recreate this in VR chat? Or Gary's mod? Yeah, I might be a cartographer for this. But I will not be silent. So this has led to me because, so you see, I had plans for Last Defense Academy. Those plans were me playing, or me streaming the endings rather than Let's Play them.
Coal robber. Coal robber.
This, and I even reached out to Life Will Change asking if I was worried. And they told me that I probably will be fine. Oh god, I just imagine that world just looking like a bunch of fat people with guns. They start shooting like crazy. I also want to apologize last time for my ADHD kicking in. Okay, so for context, in the middle of my Let's Play, I was decided to react to a stream on my phone of a streamer named Hazel. They're a mushroom-themed VTuber, which okay, they're not a VTuber, they're a PNG tuber. Which is basically diet VTuber, basically. And I decided just to watch them stream. And I had a good time with her. I even pulled off the Is Among Us canon. I even asked them if Among Us was canon. If you already couldn't tell, she was very, very confused. Didn't know what was canon. Because, as we all know, one of the top 10 things science will not give us. Another question I have for science. Is Super Mario Nation technically tokusatsu? Okay, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, so there was a guy named Gary Anderson. He was a very prominent producer of television in the UK. He was best known for basically Super Mario Nation was a show that
Oh.
basically a technique that he used to try and make where he basically used very advanced marionettes.
I get it. If I replace these Oogie doors with the real holiday doors at Spiral Hill, I should be able to put all the doors back in place.
But yeah, essentially the guy was a kind of a big deal in the UK. I mean, and Japan especially. Like, apparently Eiji Tsuburaya, you know, the godfather of Toku, explicitly said that Thunderbirds was a big inspiration of his. Apparently, Thunderbirds was huge in the UK and ended up being kind of a big influence. On a lot of Japanese media. Apparently, Shigeru Miyamoto was a fan of the show, and that was a major influence on Star Fox. The only other thing I kind of remember was that apparently, and of course, the big elephant in the room, those who know what I'm talking about, will be like, but what about, yes, I'm talking about Team America. Yeah, Team America was kind of made because Trey and Matt, they said they weren't fans of it. They just caught it on like whenever watched it. They weren't really big fans of it. And I've always heard like a weird he said she said story about how that film came to be. One idea I heard. One story I heard was that it was that Trey Mack got an early draft of a movie called like The Day After, and they were gonna try and retell it in badly. But their lawyers said no. Another I heard was when they found out some guy who worked on Star Trek was working on this live-action reboot of the movie of Thunderbirds. I remembered seeing commercial trailers for this game as a kid, but I didn't really have much interest in it, and I think pretty much everyone else said the same way. It didn't do very well. And even like Gary Anderson himself said that he didn't like how this movie was either. And even considers, well, not a big fan of the humor, that he thought that Team America was better than the actual movie. And I already even once said before that Doctor Who was just British tokusatsu. Mostly as a joke, because I know jack shit about Doctor Who. Other than it's British. But from what little I've seen of it, like the 80s. In fact, even Sentai fans, even Kamen Rider fans have noticed that its similarities. Like hiring a bunch of pretty boy actors that end up become massive like idols later on, or the British equivalent to an idol. I mean, almost every incarnation of Doctor is a Tumblr sexy man, and I mean, do you guys not remember Joe Odagiri? You know, an actress that was pretty much the reason that mothers watched Kamen Rider Kuga. And yeah, I also started listening to some Ultraman music, like music from the Ultra series, and one of the ones I picked was Trigger, since and I already said before that according to a lot of you guys from to some of the guys in the that was a lot. Comes our hero. Like I listened to a bit of a Trigger, pull the trigger, and this is one of the weaker ones. Oh right, the Sentai episode. So boom, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. Yes, yes, boom, pull the trigger. Ready to pull the trigger. Da 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 da. Oka Mika Shoka. Pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. Okay, essentially how it goes is that if you don't have last time, they were like a B plot where the main rangers were trying to talk. Basically, had a tour of Kuon, Herrera's brother's AI company. Herrera and apparently Bouquet got amnesia and was basically hanging out with Kumade for the time being. Basically, around this time, we find out that that she and the rest of the team were all AI. And that the Rangers were all basically like living like apparently the guy who was like apparently Battle of Japan had the Battle of Japan ring was actually basically trapped the main Rangers like the main four into a dream world. But for Horaru, it didn't work because you gotta remember, Horaru doesn't have a dream. So he starts fighting. But the others suck. Like Ryugi is just cleaning. Is just casually cleaning Tigasol-sama. Ryugi is Riko is just casually cleaning. Is just being the idol, and Kijiro's actually surprisingly sad. He sees like a younger version of his wife. You gotta remember, died prior to the show, and it was his whole motivation to be young again. However, apparently they were able to corrupt the AI and make it so that they're suffering from negative effects of it. So they take us off freezes. The guy that kidnapped Ryugi's that kidnapped Sumio's sister. Basically tells he'll never be an idol. Six source freezes, and Kijiro's wife like disappears, and Sumino's sister basically runs off. But basically, the Goju got the Battle Japan actually ends up starts dissing idols right in front of Bouquet. Obviously, Bouquet didn't take this very well. And of course, we actually get like a take on the evil rangers. So basically, the AI that Kuon was created was actually making AI doctors. Apparently, those doctors got reprogrammed to be evil rangers. Pull the trigger! Pull the trigger! Ready to pull the trigger! But of course, they're able to beat the guy and get the Battle Fever ring, but that's when Bouquet ends up going back into to Bryden, and that's when she gets a very massive paycheck and was like, on second thought, fuck Kamade. And next week, we're gonna get Kamen Rider Zets, but there's a bit of a catch with it. It's gonna be a simulcast, but we're gonna have like a limited time only shit. Only shtick.
Clear time.
And we're not only that, but
Combo.
damn!
Exclamation marks count. Nightmare rank.
Excellent.
Soul bonus.
But apparently those they will not be archived, so we gotta watch it fast. And not only that, but from the looks of it, we're gonna be getting a Ryugi episode next week. And since next week, as we're recording is close to my birthday, I get a Ryugi episode for my birthday. Well, time to end the episode here. Subscribe, all 67. Say yeah.